So my first question, now that the bugle has been sounded as far as elections are concerned, your rivals, your political rivals, have been raising two major pillars, economy and corruption, or rather attacking you as the government on these two broader planks. Are those justified, those attacks? Because I will come to the way you've reacted in the past or what your government has been saying, but do you believe these elections will be fought on these two major planks?
If you look at the last 9 years in a perspective, the UPA government has built up perhaps the most ambitious rights-based infrastructure which the world has ever seen, maybe after the social security net, which was created post the Great Depression in the United States. So therefore, starting with the right to information, the right to employment as guaranteed by the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, the right to education, then the right to food, and finally, of course, the landmark changes in the land acquisition legislation. They are all, they've all been targeted to ensure that you have a social safety net which includes 1 billion people into the developmental paradigm. And all this has happened without sacrificing growth. Because if you look back from 2013 to 2004, as per the figures released by the RBI, 8.1% is what we've clocked on an average. Even today, when the economic numbers are low compared to what our aspirations are, if they are juxtaposed in a global context, we are still doing much better than most emerging economies and emerged economies, which are still grappling with the green shoots of recovery. So therefore, the allegation with regard to the economic part of it, I think is completely unfounded. It is totally baseless. And on the crux or on the anvil of an empirical evaluation, it falls totally flat. Now, coming to the question which you raised about corruption, let's rewind back to November of 2010, when a report put in the public domain by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India suggested that 1,76,000 crores is the loss which had incurred to the exchequer as a result of government not auctioning the telecom licenses and ostensibly giving it in 2008 at 2001 prices. That was what the crux of the allegation was. 3 years down the line, you've had 2 auctions. And what have those auctions resulted in? The total net yield in terms of revenue, the upfront payment to government has been 1,722 crores, with a promise that over the next 10 years, with a 2-year moratorium, you will get another 8,700 odd crores, if I remember the figures correctly from the top of my head. Now, juxtapose this against the 1,658 crores into the 9 licenses cancelled, which gets you to a figure over 14,000 crores. So where does the truth lie? And that's why I've been saying this repeatedly, and I would like to underscore that possibly the former CNDG has done the greatest damage to the India growth story. And the takeaway for me is that when individuals decide to go rogue, not only institutions but nations have to suffer.